lane Tinker versus the Timber, it's all right there. And then in the mid game, if you initiate and Draw doesn't see it coming, you can just blow him up. It also gives him a lot of burst damage, which means that it's harder for Oracle to stay alive as a whole. So yeah, this should be good.
This is going to be an exciting game, hopefully. The Tinker, obviously, it's going to be hard for Escape to push up high ground. Number one, they have a Drow range, which is good. So they have a good tower hitter in the sense that they have the Drow. But that's about it, really. They don't have much pushing other than that. Kaipi can push. They have a lot of D push, or at least some D push. It's tough to push into Astral as well as Stomp, not to mention the Tinker coming out with the March of the Machines and the Starstorm as well. So I feel like KP have a pretty good late game situated draft. Not to say that Escape's draft is, terrible, but we'll see how things turn out. I don't know. What did you think about this Tinker pick coming out? And their draft in general, I should say. For
yeah,
KP.
like I said before, I think the Tinker is a good solution for what they need, and they definitely need some more damage. So Tinker kind of fit a lot of those problems in a lot of ways. It's going to be a Bone 7 Tinker. See how that goes. Their draft as a whole is pretty cool, though. Elder Titan is going to amp up Tinker's damage even farther. It's going to give some good teamfight disruption. I do like their draft. I think it's pretty solid.
We'll see where everyone heads off to as we get
Bambo's
underway.
playing support, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I realized. I remember they switched this up a while ago, I think. Or did they? I thought they did. I thought they had 3 in the offlane last time they played, but...
Well, when we first brought him to Korea, at the time he was known as a bit of an offlaner, but he could also definitely play support. He had played support on EG for a bit. Mm-hmm. So it's really no big surprise. He may just feed his life away right now, though.
Yeah, do they know? I don't think
Oh, they saw him. Yeah, they saw him from a different angle. I don't think he realized, though.
They're not going after him if they do know
definitely
he's there.
They know he's there, 100%. I think they're going to wait for like 20 seconds and then run up there and kill him, maybe. They pinged. I thought they pinged.
Maybe. I'm looking at the vision right now. They're not seeing him anywhere they're going.
Well, of course, but I thought they saw him. Somebody pinged as he was about to walk high ground onto the cliff. So maybe that was KP writing that instead.
It'd be pretty funny to get out of this. This is a Bambo play. I like how I talked about, oh, he's a support. Maybe we won't see the plays being made. No, he's being aggressive, and this just seems typical him,
good.
Honestly.
I mean, a good Bambo story. There's this one pub game I accidentally queued into him when we were living together and in Korea, and he played Rubik, and I had this like Jungle Doom who was incompetent, and I kept going over, and Bambo was like messing with him. So we'd show up with 2 heroes. Eventually, we'd kill him, but in reality, what you're doing is committing 2 heroes to him. So even though I thought Bambo was doing something stupid, in reality, he's wasting 2 heroes' times, which should create more space on the map. So even if his plays look kind of stupid sometimes, the reality is that usually the consequences are a lot more dire than you realize it at the time, and it can really lead to a lot of big changes.
That's like the
definition. That's the kind of stuff you gotta look out for.
That's the definition of a Bambo play. Something that looks silly, but actually makes so much space or just does a lot of work in the end. Sometimes it doesn't work, but when he does get it to work, it's kind of crazy.
Just like that Echo Stomp now.
I mean, that Echo Stomp, he canceled it. He could have just let it go. Might have hit. I don't know. Maybe he wanted to not... I mean, use his mana up, so that was a little weird. But still, he's allowing Bone 7 to get plenty of last hits right now, which is good. Which is what you're supposed to do as a support roaming around the map and just trying to be aggressive. But.
Yeah. He was probably expecting Timbersaw to be here, not Draw Ranger, to be honest. But I think the Timber don't want to lane against the Tinker, which makes sense.
This is something we sort of thought of during the draft, but we didn't talk about it that much as the draft going mid. And I think we mentioned it once or twice, but there was nothing really concrete. They're going to do the dual lanes, though, the 2-1-2 for now, at least. There's the solo lane bottom for the Timbersaw, while they have the roaming Kunkka going mid. But again, there's that ward there that Bamboo plays down, so they have some good vision seeing. Yaps will rotate through, and Bone 7 will just go ahead and continue to CS. I don't know. There's a lot of early game pressure coming through. Finally, Bambo will find the Stomp bottom. He even got... It looked like the Astral was there, but it's the Axis. He's level 1. Plenty of right click. They have the reactive armor on him, so even with the Boar Slow, I don't think they'll get this kill. It's not quite enough.
7 died mid.
I
caught the whole thing.
I went right back to it as he died, so I didn't technically miss it.
Yeps are hiding in the trees. More or less under vision, but maybe not. Through a torrent, got hit by the torrent, and then they just used frost arrows all the way across the river, and then the second torrent landed as well. So this first skill shot, no big deal, but the second one was difficult to land, and they do kill Bone 7 for that.
Damn, I wish
he had also used laser right before the gank happened, so he didn't even get to like laser the Drow to guarantee that he could escape. So that was maybe really sloppy using laser for a CS.
Bone 7 not realizing. I mean, they had vision of Yapsa rotating through. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Oh, they got Timber this time.
All right. That's some good
right?
gold. We're gonna say no. No, I didn't.
No.
It's a rough start. 1-1 the score. Yapzor is gonna go rotate back up to the top lane. So yeah, I mean, he was doing well bottom. Kizu was having a good time, and then they rotated in Bambo, and then that was when it was a real problem. Well, Bambo will go ahead and deny himself, but this top lane, Torrent not going to connect on Pilot. I think he was just using it to get some CS from Yapzor. And now you can see Era starting to be pretty aggressive under the tower. Escape still leading the CS a little bit, and it's really just going to be 1-1 the score at this point. It's pretty even, I think, across the board, except for the Mirana not getting as much CS as maybe he would like.
Oh, Limp's actually quite low. Oh, that was a huge deny. He busted himself.
Nice. Bambo's still rotating around. He's going to bring the Astral Spirit back. Laser gets him low again, but I don't know if they want to go for this. I feel like this aggro tri-lane top also needs to accomplish something, but we'll see if that actually happens.
I mean, yeah, it definitely affects things a lot, but the big thing right now is that Draw's constantly low. They could just kill her here. If they get a stomp.
Stomp, they could use, just the combo from Bone 7, that'll do it. Torrent coming out, just gonna miss from Yapzor, not that it would have gotten the kill. Although he does have 2 points to the Tidebringer, would have gotten him low, but not killed him, I don't think. Still, though, nice kill on the Drow Ranger. I mean, that's the thing, right? I'm gonna go on top lane. Sing Sing was slithering crushed up, but they didn't have a damage to bring him down. Even though with the level 2 Purifying Flames, it's still not enough.
They can just pressure that mid lane so easily, and there's so many heroes that this could be. Oh, 1-7's gonna die now.
That's a good Torrent. Followed up by the miss from the low ground. Is there actually going to be a way that he lives through this? Yeah, the Torrent, he dodges it, and it's level 1. It might not have killed him. He's going to use the Tidebringer to try to get the cleave damage to get the kill, but it's not going to be successful, as Bone 7 will dodge it. Meanwhile, Sing Sing.
Bambo is actually walking to the top lane there, I think, to rebottle a rune is what happened, maybe, for the Tinker. And then, yeah, he got gone on during that. Huge stomp, though. The fact that it caught both heroes is insane.
Yeah, that's... And the last right click from the low ground. Oh, God. The low ground miss is just... It's brutal for escaping this this round. They did lose the Oracle in the top lane for seemingly nothing. He just kind of got caught. A lot of the creeps were doing damage. And just too much damage coming out from Kaipi in that point. So, alright, so they lost the Timbersaw down bottom. He's up to 25 last hits, though. 3-3 sitting at 21, so they're kind of keeping him in check. But how are the other lanes going? I mean, like, this tri-lane is sort of shutting down the Mirana to a fair bit. 12 last hits, but is it worth it? Like, it's a dual lane now, I guess you could call it, but is this worth the dual lane that they've got going on?
I don't think so. I mean, he's got, how many CS? 12? It's not amazing, but he's pretty survivable in what he's got right now. And Pilot Eye is also still getting levels, like they're getting pulls off and things like that. If you do an aggro try like this and your opponents are controlling the pulls more than you are, then it's kind of hurting you. And it has been more of a dual lane than it has been a tri lane, so it's cool and all that it's been working, but Bambo's also been having effective roaming ganks, and that's where things get harder.
Stomp mid, get a miss on Limp. He'll be able to survive for now. He's got 3 points to precision, or he's going to go on to Bambo with a couple of Frost Arrow hits, but with level 1 Frost Arrow, he can't bring him down. Top lane, they will get the kill with the Torrent, Fortune's End, Tidebringer, all of that used with a Slithering Crushing combination, so that tri-lane finally gets the job done killing Sing Sing. That's something they need to do a bit more of, but that kill is at least something going their way.
And keep in mind, Bone 7 hasn't put a lot of levels in March here. He's got 3 lasers now, but 2 missiles, which means that if he isn't able to get a lot of kills here in the early game, then he won't be able to transition as well into jungling. So that's why it's so important this lane goes well.
Limb chasing after Bambo. Torrents, again, just barely off the mark for Yapzor. Was looking for the X, couldn't find it. A lot of rotations, but there's a smoking for Beastmaster. Do they want to fight this? The roar's going to come out. There's the heat-seeking missiles in the rocket that will just bring him down. Laser, excuse me. The Stomp's going to come through on Cinderin. He does have Fate's Edict, but not for 3 seconds. Purifying Flames as well. Fortune's End, maybe just to slow Bambo down and try to get away. Cinder getting clubbed down. Bambo, how far will he go? Does he want this kill? He moves ahead, looking for the stop it. He's gonna get it. The physical damage comes out. Can he get it done? One more right click. No. The X marks the Torrent. Yapzor saves his life. Cinder somehow stays alive, and I can't believe that actually happened.
That's a pretty typical Bambo play, but I'd like to point out the fact that I believe the nerf on Elder Titan actually affected that there. There's a chance, because they changed the scaling of how much Echo Stomp did in the early levels. It went through Fate's Edict because it does part physical and part magic. So if this had been a little higher, he might have just died. Would have been very close. I'm pretty sure he would have killed him if he had just one more. If the previous nerf to Eldertine didn't happen. It was a good play either way. Like the fact that he got so many heroes to rotate to his lane, they still do kill the Draw Ranger. If he got an extra solo kill after that, he's easily justifying his value.
I mean, this is all happening, and Bone 7's died once. His CS is 30. It's the same as the Drow, and he's gotten a couple of kills out of it too, so or at least assists. This is not a bad lane for Bone 7 currently. Top of the net worth actually, which is the biggest thing. How many stacks in the jungle here? I haven't checked. It looks like that is a no. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah, he's gonna just stack the large camp for now. He'll clear this later. He can do it now, but it's very inexpensive. Or it's very expensive in terms of mana. If he gets blocked, yeah, he's got a Centaur camp. This is really difficult to do now. He'll just have to laser this, most likely.
Go for the March, the level 1 March. He's out of mana. He's got 2 bottle charges left. He'll be able to bring down some of these. The Satyr, Trickster, and the Satyr Mindstealer.
I'm not sold on this. It's kind of good for the sense that it's safer than him jungling or laning, but he'll get there eventually. He's probably just trying to be really safe because he's got a really good start in terms of kills, so he just wants to get his BOTs as fast as possible so that he can be mobile on the map, but it's going to be a bit until he finishes it.
He's
not super efficient, but it'll be fine.
Is the build still, I mean, it's been for a while, the, like, Aether Lens into Aghanim Scepter, is that going to be, I mean, it's like, first of all, you get your bottle, your soul ring, your blink dagger, and then you go Aether Ags. Is that going to be the case for the Tinker this game as well, do you think?
Eggs is not bad this game due to the Drought Aura, but there aren't that many right clickers, so I'm not 100% sure. It can be really effective against heroes like Hunker, definitely, because it limits his Tidebringer damage in team fights. Decent against Slardar too. But we'll see. Could be something a bit different.
I mean, I'm down for any different build. On any hero, really. I mean, the crazy builds are what I live for, but we'll see if that's going to be the case. I mean, for example, there's a Poor Man's Shield and Era. How common is that? I feel like I should notice that more, but a Poor Man's Shield and Era, I feel like that's not that most important item choice, but it still is kind of interesting.
It's not super weird. Slardar already has really high armor at the start of the game, so if you get a Poor Man's Shield on top of that, it just becomes almost impossible for Mirana to harass him. You know Mirana's damage is low, so it's just the same principle, pretty much.
Alright, they're going for a smoke. Was that ward still up? I think it was. While they smoked up, that ward might have scouted the... And, well, with that, the scan, it is definitely scouted. They're not going to find anything, or at least they shouldn't. 3-3 is going to sit behind the tower along with Sing Sing and Pile Die. He'll continue to just CS, and Escape will come away empty-handed with this gank. As there's the Boots of Travel now done for the Tinker. No Soul Ring, so it's a bit early in comparison to other builds, 10 minutes in. He's going to TP to the tier 2, staying behind the tower. There's an Observer Ward placed deeply there. And now Lip will just go on and hit the tower, and that's going to be the end of the gank. It looks like that should be the end of the gank anyway.
Yeah, Bambo's going to try to delay this at least. He's got a Soul Ring coming in a moment. The other hero's decently grouped in the jungle too. If they can get a Roar off, they can easily kill, especially with Lion in the area. So they're actually quite strong right now. Their heroes have easily hit their power curve, especially now because Bone 7's got Boots of Travel. Now, any fight that happens, they can always have a level 3 laser and level 2 missile show up too. Pretty huge.
I was kind of concerned about Bambo and his leveling. He rotated a lot, but he's level 6. That smoke has definitely been counted by the ward. That's also unfortunate. Escape
they know which path they're going.
Yeah, that's the thing. Escape probably should just sit behind a tower at this point instead of being out in the open. You can see already heading to the tree line. Kizu's gonna go ahead and just find a TP scroll and get out very quickly. This gank is going to be unsuccessful bottom as well. So lots of good vision, providing plenty of information, and just knowledge that the people are smoking is very important for both of these teams.
So because they got out from the bot lane, they instead are going to sit behind mid in case the gank actually comes to limp instead. But it doesn't look like it will be coming that way. Pie's going to sit in the jungle as well, hopefully anticipating a smoke of their own for the reflect, because their opponents did obviously know. This is a decent ganking for here. Although Titan with Lion. Oh, this is a kill, I think.
They thought that this jungle was safe, but the Roar's going to come out the Finger of Death as well. 2 ultimates expended, but boy, to see fall quickly, even with level 1 natural order, it's more than enough to help out.
Really wasn't very safe for Kezu to farm there. They knew that their opponents did smoke. I don't know if they did show on the bot lane or not, but surely they'd still be in the jungle, right?
Right.
Like, why farm all the way up to... And there's a Beastmaster, so there's a really high chance that they get vision over you. I think that was just really unsafe to go farm there.
I think you have to wait until they come out and show themselves in any lane before you decide to make that decision. I don't think
thought they were Roshing or something, but I don't know. And there's no way they even expected that either. It's not like they have good Rosh. They don't have anybody doing damage.
Not to Roshan, no. Not until they get an Echo or two. And they'll have a TP's coming in bottom. There's a lot of heroes here. They might just go for this. Earth Spike right on point. It's Kezu again. They have the Hawk vision over, but the Hawk will go down as the Chakram goes immediately. And meanwhile, they're pushing top on the Radiant side. Just trying to get that damage done. But it's not going to be enough. They'll TP a couple more heroes bottom to try to set something up here. It's going to be Apsor. No Ghost Ship yet. He's level 5, not quite level 6. And even with this experienced leech, I don't think he will get there. He needs at least another creep wave, it looks like. They're going to try to chase somebody down, but not successful in doing so.
Yeah, they knew they could be aggressive. All the ultimates for KP were down there. They had no roar. They had no finger death. Those are the big ones. That's why he can be aggressive this time.
Bone7 already TPing the Hawks at this early stage of the game. 13 minutes, they send the Hawk into the tree line down here in the corner of the map. And he throws rockets out casually. That's gotta be annoying.
It's good strategy. It's definitely the OP of Tinker. Maybe they were planning on Tinker this whole time, who knows, but it certainly fits their draft very well.
I do want to say that whoever does win this series is going to be going into the grand finals. It's pretty imperative. There's the Moonlight Shadow. Arrow's been caught out. He's going to get caught with the Earth Splitter as well. It's more than enough damage, but not yet. They do need to bring him down with at least one more ability here, and it will be the Earth Spike that does the job alongside Bone7's one right click. Will do net them to kill at the very least. So
that was really nicely done. They land the Echo Stomp from Bamboo to start everything, and it's so easy to just TP into that. The draft really does fit together perfectly. It's so cool.
KP's draft is starting to see that synergy, and it's exactly what you said. Getting past like the first couple of minutes, making sure they can get some experience on the supports, on their other heroes. Even Bone7, we haven't seen obviously the peak of his impact yet, which who knows when that'll be. I mean, not even with a blink dagger. You'd like to get
I'm just doing great already. Like he's completely fine now. As long as he's a little safe about the times that he goes in, he can still contribute a huge amount. 200 magic damage from heat-seeking missile and 240 pure from laser. That's a lot of damage. It's like about 400, 390 after magic resistance. It's huge.
You see Kezu just run away as soon as that happens. Roar, they'll find Yapzor. They at least will have infused raindrops, but that will not protect him as the Necro goes and mana birds him like crazy. They'll use the Purifying Flames. They want 3-3, but he's going to be able to get out, I think, for the most part, as they don't want to fight in the march. They've got the slow from the boar on Synderen, but it will go in a moment as they've killed the boar with Limp coming in. More rockets flying through. Limp will take that damage, but a good gust stops Pilot that from getting an Earth Spike off. And I don't think they have any way of catching anybody. Maybe a stop would do the job, and they will catch Limp, but he's underneath the tier 2 tower. The arrow will come through, will hit, but they have the Fateatic ready to go. They also have the False Promise at the ready if they need it. TP coming through. Escape looking to determine this. Yapzor, he's got Ghost Ship, but X marks not in range. Good disengage if KP can get out. Not in range of that X marks is the reason why they're leaving, just so they can get out of any sort of catch potential. Stop again. They're going to turn this finger. Kezu will fall immediately. The arrow will fly onto Yapzor as well. Bone7 in the fray. Dropping down the march as well. Pilot Eyes low, but not dead yet. Here comes the Ghost Ship. They've got the rum, and it looks like the rest of the squad's trying to leave. Bone7, will he make it out? Absolutely. Earth Splitter not doing much, and 3-3 will TP away as well. So it will be a 1 for... Did anyone die there from escape besides Yapzor at the beginning of the fray? I don't think so.
Timber, I guess.
Oh, yeah, Timber.
But that was the start of the fight, kind of. Oh, well, it was the turn. He had Bloodstone then, so that's why he respawned so fast. But so it was pretty good, actually.
2 for 1.
So, what, Timbersaw in line? Who else died?
That was it. No, Timbersaw and Yapzor died at the beginning of the fight. They caught him first, I believe.
Oh, Yapzor did. Oh, yeah, that's right. Did he?
Yes. Because he
TP'd
in.
He was in the jungle, right?
Yeah.
He was the one that got roared on, correct?
Yep. And then he had to TP in.
Yeah. So
but it was
very long pretty good. Good for KP, definitely. Drows looking like she's hitting quite hard, though, so they've got to be a bit careful. But her DPS is doing a lot. Line got really low really fast. His TP was a little greedy, but it worked out.
I think I really like the turn KP did there. Like, that was... They just hid behind the trees, and all of a sudden they come out, they blow 2 big abilities, and just find kills instantly. At least 1 kill on the Timbersaw. I thought that was really interesting.
He needs a cloak really bad. It's just so needed against these kind of heroes, especially with an Elder Titan in the game who's going to lower your magic resistance with his aura. Makes Finger of Death, double Starstorm, missiles, just do so much more. Once he becomes tanky enough that he doesn't have to worry about that burst when the ultimates are up, then the whole game kind of changes. And that's kind of how they've been playing the game. As soon as they have ultimates, they feel comfortable being aggressive towards Timbersaw. But when they don't have those, then Timbersaw's kind of invulnerable. So if he had maybe a raindrop or a cloak or something like that, it could have been way different.
Bone 7 TPing right onto Kezu. Kezu trying to clear out the creep wave before it does. Not successful, but he still clears up the creep wave anyways. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think Kezu needs some sort of more magic survivability here. We saw a lot of hoods the other day.
He's going to make a pipe almost for sure. This is like the most pipe game ever, so it wouldn't be weird.
I am completely on board with that. Now, we've seen Drow lineups work in the late game recently, even in this tournament. Well, that thought, Blink Slithering Crush, Bambo in trouble, Torrent, Ghost Ship flying through, that is more than enough to get the kill. A little bit of overkill, but not much. The Ghost Ship stuns him and keeps him in place, make sure he doesn't get out, squeak his way through. As Pylai dies, getting some room to farm elsewhere in the top lane, and with that, Limp and Arrow, they go to work. They've got amplified damage ready to go, and they're going to try to take down Roche with it. The Hawk will get vision. They have Necrobook 2 ready to go, as well as Roar. It's going to be a tough Roche to take, especially with that Tinker coming through and dropping the March down. I don't know if they're going to go for this.
Man, I thought it was going to be so easy because they killed Bambo, who could walk the Spirit in and stomp, but they actually have like 3 heroes that are that annoying. Got Beastmaster Hawk, they can do this March thing. That's very problematic, and they killed the ward here.
This is really Roche too. Like, can you imagine if this was high ground instead of Roche? Like, I don't see Escape, unless they could kill like 4 of these 5 heroes. I don't see them pushing high ground very successfully. Maybe not 4 of the 5, but a couple of them.
I mean, it's definitely difficult, but high ground's easier than Roche in a lot of ways. The cliff makes it almost impossible to defend against that kind of nukes over cliff thing.
That's a good point. Positioning wise, Roche might be easier for the Dire team to set up for, especially on the Dire side, yeah, and just throwing out all the damaging nukes and marching the machine and spamming it over. And they'll push the tier 1 tower now with everyone from Escape backing off, resetting, heading towards mid, finding more farm. Yasha, Dragonlance now done for the Drow Ranger, level 11. Limp sitting at top of the net worth again, but I think that him and the Tinker should trade farm pretty consistently over the next couple of minutes. And there's that armlet that we see from Kuka so often now. It's more survivability and damage.
I mean, Yepsor has a really good KDA this game, but he's definitely been hurting for levels in a lot. They've been kind of having trouble getting kills. So his X's, at least, are very short range. It's difficult for him to get some impact in that way. But at least he's been getting some kills and assists and helping his team. If he can get a bit more leveled up, the armlet's going to be huge with the splash damage, because you can clear things like Beastmaster Boars, even doing some damage to Necros can make a huge impact.
Well, see what they can find with the Smoke of Deceit gank. Bone 7 he shouldn't be caught out, really, with the Blink Dagger positioning. They're going to ping him, but he's going to already TP out at this point, and they can't walk through the March, obviously, either. Scan will be used over towards Roche. They wanted to see if they could catch anybody over there, but in fact, look at where KP are situated. Underneath the tier 2 tower. They're not looking to go too far up. Yeah, now they'll make the move.
They're scared. They lost Bambo before in a very similar situation. They know if they lose like 2 heroes for nothing, that Escape will just take Roche. So the next fight kind of determines whether or not which team gets Roche on. So they're just going to group for now. Be played very, very safe, and that's a good, smart decision.
I think KP, yeah, I think the decision to play safe is a good one, because I feel like their late game potential. I don't know how you feel about the late game. I feel like with Era on the Slaughter, obviously amplify damage to help out and do damage to some of these heroes. They have good team fight, but I think KP's late game lineup is also solid, but I don't know who to choose in this game.
I mean, Tinker is always going to be fantastic. I would argue that KP's team fight is just better as a whole. It's not even close in that way, because they've got Echo Stomp, which they always have to worry about. If they land a good Echo Stomp, it should lead to an Arrow or an Earth Splitter follow-up. They've got Arrow follow-ups after Roar, they've got a Lion, and they also have Tinker, obviously, which is huge damage output and very, very wily, very difficult to shut down. So I think it's just stronger on their side. Although they do have Kunkka, but that's about it. It's like Kunkka Slaughter is the team fight for Escape here.
Moonlight Shadow, and they won't find anybody, not yet. There's no real detection on these front 2, Kazu and Era not having any, and of course, well, Yapsor's a little too late with the dust, as they've already moved out of the jungle and back into the lane. They'll find an Observer Ward, they'll counter that. They know Pylai is Moonlight Shadowed, and now it's Escape's turn to sit close to that tier 2 tower, but again, nobody wants to give away Roche. Nobody wants to give that away at this point. It's all about positioning.
And this is the problem here for Escape's draft, is that KP can always have a Tinker be split pushing, but he's in reality ready to fight. So as long as he keeps pushing out lanes, there's not really anything that's going to make KP want to back out, and they're not that concerned about this. On the other side, Drow needs to keep her farm up, but Tinker can do that more rapidly while also being in the team fight. It's one of the really big advantages of the hero. So this dance is going to be so difficult for them. They're going to find Kezu here, but
he pops the hood aura, or the hood shield, I should say. Nobody really initiating yet. Era's thinking about it. He really needed to make a decision. Now his blink is put on cooldown because of the march.
Oh,
X marks. They've got the ghost ship. Sing Sing might be in trouble. He should fall first, and Era will get the kill with the Slithering Crush. Great blink to finish him off, and now they're looking for 3-3. The roar will come through, and it looks like he's moved up too far. They'll get a double kill for Era, and he wants a third. Bambo's stunned up, and it looks like Bone7's just not doing enough during this fight. Great two-man torrent. Bone7 about to fall. It's going to be 5 dead for the side of KP. What a fight from Escape. Some great stuns. Oh, man. Yapsor set that fight up so well.
There's 3 heroes that are basically dead, and they just didn't get any advantage. I mean, all they got out of that fight, out of Marana alone, was just a double Starstorm on top of the Timber Saw, but he played way too dangerous there. If there's a Conk in the game, you can't play that close to your opponents. So Kezu's aggressiveness completely paid off there. And it leads to 5 heroes on KP dying. On the bright side, they were so low that they couldn't instantly just go take Roche, but man, not a good fight for KP.
If that's your bright side, that's not super great for them. I mean, yeah, it's not a... The net worth lead is going to go up to about 5,000. It could be a lot worse. This could happen later on into the game at a much more crucial point. But Kezu will get stomped. Is there any follow-up as the rest of the team is coming in? Pilot Eye looking for an Earthspec. He will find it. We might see a suicide here if he doesn't get stunned to death, and that's going to be the problem, is that he will get stun locked down before he can even use his suicide from his Bloodstone.
And they didn't even have to roar there. That was pretty good damage. I think they just missed a ton of skill execution, basically. That fight got chaotic very rapidly as soon as Marana got killed. Even, you know, Bambo's surrounded by 3 heroes. Beastmaster roared on a hero that had 3 heroes in front of him, so it was even difficult to kill Oracle, but they were able to pull that one off. They barely did as much damage as they did. So it still should be good for them going to late game, as long as the 2 heroes that have good escape don't get caught at the start. That means Marana and that means Tinker. If those guys get X comboed and Escape is able to do combos on those heroes at the start of the fight, then they should have a really good fight going for them. But Kaipi has to make sure that doesn't happen again, because too many more of those and they could just lose Roche on a ton of advantage.
What do you think about BKB or some sort of defensive item like a Lincoln Sphere against the X marks? Because that seemed to be the issue there.
It's so bad. It sucks to buy. Like, that's why Kunkka is so strong right now as a support, is because you're forced into buying these crazy items just to keep survivability against X marks the spot. You can do other things like Glimmer Cape as well, just that way when you come back in the X you take far less damage from the combo, but you know, against good teams that usually isn't enough. Something like BKB is safer, but you don't want to buy BKB on Ponham. That's just really straightforward.
Is there any way to deal with it then without buying those items, or do you
don't let him cast X on you?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
First. Get Blink Dagger on Marana, that way you get blinked out earlier, not have to waste Leap. Like by the time you finally use the Leap, the X had been casted, so.
Yeah, when that X is casted, you're like, well, better take my hands off the keyboard. Obviously you don't. You hope that something happens if the timing's messed up or something along those lines, but it almost feels that way in some instances. At least from our perspective when we're watching it, but yeah, it seems difficult to deal with that right now for KP, and we'll see if they can... Yules might... wait, how does the interaction work with Yules again, by the way, for X marks?
I am not... I think Glimpse goes through Yules. I don't know if X does.
That's the one thing I was curious about.
But I believe Yules is more of a increase Rambo's movement speed, give him a disable setup kind of a thing. That's the point of that. Looks like he does nuke the bot lane, doesn't look like they noticed.
Ooh, that's a good scan from the Radiant team. That's a very good scan. Kez is going to walk right into all of them. They have the at least Necro units up. Now they're going to use the figure as well. They get off at least the Oracle's False Promise coming through. Will take a bit of damage. They have the Ghost Ship does as well. They've already taken down the Beastmaster. They're looking for more. Bambo gets a stomp off onto one. Air looking for another blink. It's up in 6 seconds. Good Yules from Bambo, though, to make sure he can't chase any further. Cinderin, obviously, with the Fortune 7, he's too far away. Limp, no blink either. Arrow's going to be the one to try to chase. Arrow is going to hit a neutral creep.
In case there was a blink right there. Sing Sing was next leveling, that's all. If they had blink right there, like maybe the Slar took a little bit less damage, he could have died. Really nice reaction to how they prepared that though. They saw the scan, they immediately put Timber in the front, and the important thing was that he was walking up the hill as Kaipi was approaching. If they did it a different way, it wouldn't have been as obvious. They might have thought that then Kezu didn't know they were there.
Kezu is now in a dangerous spot. Earth Splitter's going to come through. It'll hit up on Limp now. They have to back away again with 1 kill on the board. They still can't find anything in terms of... hold that thought. There's the Slithering Crush. Bone7 might be in trouble. His first death. After a long period of time, Air is still hexed up. They will find it, but Kezu's going in right now. He wants Pilot Eye. Another good use coming out from Bambo, but he's low on mana at this point. Kezu will at least try to Timber Chan away. Limp still going to work on Roshan. Not successful in finding any more damage, really. At this point, they try to get a kill. They got a kill on Bone 7. Sure, they had to trade Air away for it, but I feel like that's worth it, given the net worth of these two heroes.
It wasn't too bad. I mean, there's going to be some problems with Escape going into the late game due to their damage. Like, Draw Ranger's doing well, but she's going BKB after Manta style, which means that her damage isn't going to be super huge. And as long as Bone 7 can keep farming and finish his Ag soon, he's going to output so much more damage than a Draw Ranger will in most team fights. So even though Escape is kind of winning fights, they're still having trouble finishing the Roche. And that's another one of the really cool things about Kaipi's draft that we've talked about. It's just so hard. They have to win a big fight, then get to Roche, and then take it. They've got Slardar and they have Draw Ranger. They should be able to do it rapidly, but they're just not quite winning the fights hard enough. So as long as Kaipi keeps trading fairly even, they should be able to keep contesting Roche and eventually get it themselves.
This is a stressful game, it feels like, for both of these teams. Even just game number 1 of this five-game series, it's kind of all over the place. I mean, there is the 4,000 net worth escape lead, excuse me, but that could dwindle very quickly if Kaipi could just string together one good fight, which is definitely doable.
Yep, good item pickup for Kezu here. I'm going for Lotus Orb. Solid armor obviously can reflect a lot of important spells. You can remove Hex from allies as well, like if Lion hexes somebody. He's quite farmed despite his KDA. He's doing a great job.
It's definitely a good debuff remover for sure.
Alright, Arrow's smoke gets broken.
And Pilot dies dead. That's just great heads-up play from Arrow to... Unless they had some vision there that I'm not seeing, they were able to find Pilot Eye without any issues whatsoever.
Well, that's why he's standing there. Like, honestly, it's really about warding, or de-warding a little bit. He's standing in the trees, he's standing close. He ends up dying there, but do they still feel comfortable roshing? They can poke around, but they still have to deal with Tinker, they still have to deal with Bambo on the Elder Titan, they still have to deal with Beastmaster Hawk. If any of those 3 heroes die, it's much easier to go into Roche. But Pilot Eye trading his life for 1 smoke, completely worth it, because he guaranteed then that they didn't get like 3 kills. He guaranteed it's 1 kill, and he might have been able to escape. If he had a ward out there when the smoke broke, he could have blinked out, but he didn't have the ward, which is fine. He probably didn't have any wards available. But now, traded, smoke is gone, Escape loses their opportunity, and then Kaipi goes back to just farming and sitting around the Roche area and anticipating this. It's really effective. Pilot Eye trades his life like that all the time. It's kind of hard to see, but when you do, it's like mind-blowing how strong he is as a player.
I mean, it's just a solid play that it's tanking the gank is the best term that you could use. Because if you have your Sing Sing Rana or your Bone 7 Tinker in that position and they go down, that's some of your highest net worth value targets just falling to a gank that shouldn't happen in the first place.
And they're dead way longer than a level 11 Lion would be. So it's a big deal.
And the biggest thing, which is what you talked about, if you kill, like, it's always been Bambo that's been killed in a lot of those instances, or 3-3 on the Beastmaster, and even after they kill that hero, they're not comfortable going into Roche. So you kill Pilot dying, and you're even less comfortable, but they try it anyways. They're only in there for half of a second before they get stomped, a double stomp on the cores, and they decide to say, okay, well, I think that's enough of that. We need to leave now. And here's the Aghanim Scepter, arguably one of the most important items of the game, now done for Bone 7's Tinker, but it's right at the point where BKBs are getting finished up here, as Air picks up his, as well as Limp. So, some big important items coming out, and I don't know, I feel like Sing Sing and Kaipi could use a bit more time here, but we'll wait and see. They kind of have to get these BKBs down a little bit lower as well.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest issue with Kaipi's draft is that, they can contest Roche, but they can't actually take it very well themselves. They don't have a physical damage dealer. They'd have to buy like a medallion on somebody like Elder Titan or something like that to actually have the ability to right-click down Roche in time. But they just can't do that with their heroes, so it kind of forces them to play this defensive style. I mean, arguably, if they had Roche taking capabilities, they could have taken it already easily, considering how well they've been contesting it. So it's been a very protect Roche because we can't take it sort of game for Kaipi. It's weird, but they're making it work.
I think if you have Aegis for Escape, they're allowed to push up and be a bit more aggressive in terms of pushing and finding kills, which is very important.
If they could put Aegis on somebody like Slaughter and just jump in and go crazy on enemy heroes, it'd be really, really effective. A nice tool for them.
Ooh, do they know where Bone 7 is? I think Error, I thought for a second there that, hey, you might be right there in that tree line.
The problem is that if you don't catch him when you blink and then you die. So it's kind of kind of dangerous. It's very easy as an observer to look at and be like, yeah, just blink right there and go on him.
Yeah,
but if you don't know where he is and you make the mistake, you're committed to like 1v5 against enemy heroes. He does get disabled here.
I don't think they're going to go on this. I'd be very surprised. He's under the tier 2 tower. But yeah, for observers, it's fine either way, because if he goes in and he finds the target, he kills him usually. If he goes in and he doesn't find the target, or the target finds him, then he dies. So,
does Purifying Flames wake you up from sleep?
I think it does. And what he's been doing is he's been putting the Fate's Edict on him, and he's been putting the Purifying Flames on him, so he doesn't theoretically take damage. But it's been waking him up. I've seen it at least twice.
Okay,
yeah.
I just
think so. That. I don't want to.
That's actually so good. That's actually fucking amazing against Elder Titan. And I think that's why they drafted it, because that's the only way that you can do damage to your ally. Therefore, you can wake them up, but in a case where it will also heal. That's so good. And Synderen does keep doing this. He casts Fate's Edict on whoever gets disabled. That way, the follow-up is he's magic, or takes no magic damage from that. But if you can just constantly sit back and wake people up from Echo Stomp, casting Purifying Flames, that's pretty amazing.
I
really
feel like
counters a lot of what Elder Titan does.
That's almost a mechanic that's, I won't say bugged, but I don't think it's working the way that it's intended to.
I completely disagree. That's how the skill works. You know, that's how Echo Stomp works. That's how Fate's Edict. That's a beautiful feature in Dota 2 that allows Oracle to be a counter in this one cool way.
Well, here's what I'm
that's
saying.
The kind of stuff that makes the game.
Here's
good.
what I'm saying is that Fate's Edict, when you're Purifying Flamesing somebody that's Fate's Edict, they don't take damage, correct? Or at least I guess they have 100% magic damage.
Okay. In that case, sometimes there are things like that happen. Yeah, like maybe your urn would break. So I don't. That might be an inconsistent bug. You're right. It might be more balanced if you're forced to cast Purifying Flames without Fate's Edict. But
yes, I agree with that. And he might do that. He might have been doing that, and that's why they're waking up. I've thought, from my perspective, from what I've seen, I feel like they've been using Fate's Edict, then Purifying Flames, and they wake up. But we'll go.
Yeah,
we'll wait and see another fight before we really determine if that's true or not, or another stomp or anything. So, anyways, 34 minutes in, and we're kind of playing, I don't know, dodge the other team, I guess, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot of farming for both sides, really.
Yeah, like I said, Kaipi can't take Roche easily, so they just want to control the map, keep farming, try to tank ganks on some of their supports, maybe look for kills here. But look at this, they're just TPing Kezu with the Boots of Travel with X marks the spot to counter push lanes. So any advantage that Kaipi was supposed to get from just doing this passive push all lanes, never take Roche style, is gone. Because they were set up there. They had 3 heroes top. They were going to TP in, blow the Timber Saw up. But it's really difficult. I think if you Yules him and he's in the air when the X comes back, he will stay. So there's a possibility of them messing up this gank. But it's going to take like a Blink Dagger on Bambo. Because he's the one with the Yules right now, and he has to be able to gap close onto that.
It's getting kind of close if he wants it. He's got 600 gold right now, so I'm totally down with that.
Is that you have to time the Yules at the exact time that X comes back, and because for allies it lasts for 8 seconds, it's very difficult to time that perfectly. They might try to go on Limp here. Bambo's watching him.
They had the Hawk, I think, up there. Yeah, they did, but it was about to go down. They didn't know who was behind Limp as well. And speaking of the Devil, Synderen as well as Era show up, kind of baiting the Drow Ranger out front. Instead, Bo and Seven will just continue to push top for now. They'll wait on pushing and going for a kill. It's just more and more farming at this point. I mean, there's not much else to say. We haven't seen a kill in, let's see, how long? At least 6 minutes. Yeah.
But the important thing is that the way that they're playing the game is really good. Like, the way that Kaipi's been defending Roche has been really cool. The way that Escape has been safely split pushing using X is really smart. Like, normally Timber wouldn't buy BOTs this early, but they purchased it because they needed the reaction to what Kaipi was doing. The fact that they recognized that and picked it was really cool.
What do you think about the Shadow Blade on Era, by the way? 2 ways to initiate.
It's not a bad choice at all. Like, it'll give him a much better chance of basically initiating on the Tinker without having to using his Blink Dagger, or potentially get out of position to do that. And he can maybe even scout support, stuff like that. He doesn't want to show it, so he's not going to stand next to the creep wave, but he might possibly just Shadow Blade pass and look for the support initiation.
The App Store is literally right next to Bone 7. That was the most awkward thing I've ever seen. He already used his X marks on Kezu, I believe, so it was on cooldown. But that was pretty funny. I don't know if they saw each other. They pinged. Somebody pinged. So I imagine they did.
I'm kind of curious what item Bone 7's going here. He does have a Void Stone. I'm just curious if it's going to be a Hex or a Yules. He might want to do something like Yules, because then he can Yules himself after Silence. But Hex is also amazing for countering BKBs, so kind of curious. We'll see what he does. He's pretty close to the item either way. I mean, he could have bought Yules instantly right now if he wanted to.
He's got a couple of options. We'll wait and see. I'm down for Hex. I think the more aggressive choice is always the better one. I mean, in this situation, they need to find kills.
Top lane, Bone 7 anticipating things. I don't know if he saw Era's Shadowblade yet, but he started the TP and then he canceled it.
Well, he knows now.
Probably just for fun.
Era just showed in lane after the Shadowblade came out.
Well, yeah, that's why he did it, you know. Occasionally doing that, saying, oh, this lane looks a little dangerous, so I'm going to TP into a range creep, I'm going to cancel it. Anything that's dangerous, you can do that. It costs you almost nothing. It costs you 10 seconds as a tinker.
Oh.
And then they're either going to go for it or they're not going to go for it. If they go for it, you save yourself. And if they don't go for it, whatever, you wasted 10 seconds.
Oh, this play is ballsy, and I love it, and it's going to work. They're actually going to get this for
the Roche steal, yeah.
I can't believe
it's a smart idea to get the Vlads.
And they had a double damage on Sing Sing as well. Yeah, that too. They also had they have the Vlads. They have the double damage on Sing Sing. It allows them to do just enough damage where Limp and the rest of the crew are out of position. They're not over towards that Roche pit for the one time in this game, or at least the one time in the past 10 minutes or so. And that allows Sing Sing to pick up now aggressively Ethereal Blade. Not worry about buyback money. He's got Aegis. They have tier 2 still up ready to go, even if he does go down without Aegis. So this is a great time for Kaipi to go for that maneuver, and it also helps the Tinker get to his next item. He's up to 5.6k gold.
What if he'll ever spend it, that is. He actually is TPing it. It looks like he might be buying it. He can finish it right now. It's going to be Hex, I think. Yeah, will be Hex. Doesn't have buyback, though. That's the scary part, but they're easily winning this game, is what it seems like. I mean, it's not easy, and the game's not over, but as you can see, their net worth is trickling up. Wait, that's Escape winning? What the hell?
Yes.
I thought that was going to go the other way.
No, Drow's been farming very, very well.
You know, I'm not too concerned. I feel like Kaipi is still winning, though. I'm not sure. I guess the Escape's getting more out of the map because Kaipi's had so much control over Roche, but
Bambo is good Yules coming out from him, but still the torrent was right on time. Oh, almost not on time, but meanwhile, look at that damage coming from Sing Sing. Blows up Sin. Oh, but the badge comes out. They have the X marks as well. Sing will lose his Aegis. Does he have Leap is the question. He does not have Blink Dagger with the Chakram up. Sing, good Earthspike coming out from Highlight Dive, but Sing still about to fall. The Roar will come out, and 3-3 will be next. But the laser from Bone 7 taking everybody down. It's 4 dead, and Kezu, the only one alive. They hex him up. Bone 7 to the rescue with Pilot Eye helping out with that huge Earthspike. It's a double kill for Bone 7. Oh my god. What a massacre.
If they didn't have Aegis there, I don't think they win that fight. It was very, very close, but the fact that Sing even got like another Starstorm combo off after his Aegis respawn changed a lot of things. That could have been enough for Timbersaw to stay alive and Drow Ranger to get a couple, like 5 more right clicks off, things like that, and they win a huge convincing fight. Like I said, I really felt like Kaipi was in the advantage in a lot of ways. Tinker, the advantage that he provides is just so scary, especially in fights like that. Once the BKB's done, and if you get laser landing on like 4 or 5 heroes, it just completely impacts the fight. They can't attack anymore. They take 320 pure damage, which is huge, and then you can eventually work people down slow using hexes and other follow-up disables.
They were already low from the Starstorm, from the Lion Earthspike, from everything, from the Roar, from the Necrobooks. So when he comes in and uses that laser, he gets like an almost immediate double kill, and then provides them an easy way to clean up the fight right after that.
And that's why it changes everything, too. If you think about the Aegis, that is, think about how the fight started. It was Mirana getting initiated on. It took him a while to die, but he did eventually die. And that meant that by the time he had died the second time, the BKBs are way gone. If he dies instantly at the start of the fight there, they still have like 3-4 seconds of BKB left to chase the follow-ups for Kaipi. And then they're maybe able to get more kills, rather than just getting an Elder Titan, who bought his team time, and Sing Sing, who bought his team time. That's the only reason that fight was won for Kaipi in a lot of ways, because it was Escape getting a good initiation. So Kaipi needs to start initiating, ideally with some roars, but they were able to squeeze a big fight out of that one.
Great engagement. And, well, how much did that actually net them? Well, more than 7,500 net worth. They're around that mark. That's a pretty significant change in gold.
Yeah, it really
very
is.
crazy.
They pop a smoke here on 3 of their heroes. They've got Hawks up as well, so obviously Tinker can TP.
They're ready to
Sing
go.
Sing's down here too. I think Sing Sing's going to have to get a BKB at this point. I know you were talking about it before, but that just looking at how that fight went, he could have done so many more annoying and aggressive Mirana things if he did have the capabilities. of not having to worry about X. So I think that BKB is going to be so neat. I do like how he's playing aggressive down here, and he's also blinking to the creeps in a safe way. If he walks up and does it, then it's obvious to his opponents that he feels comfortable, which means his team's behind him. So he's basically trying to trick his opponents into thinking he's there, while the rest of his team tries to take an engagement in the jungle. Very smart play.
Yeah, and Escape, well, those tactics don't necessarily matter as Escape have moved into the trees, into the enemy jungle, trying to find what they can.
Yeah.
But that means that they're going to lose the tier 2 tower bottom. They have split push happening elsewhere with Bone 7. He's going to stay in the tree line. TP will come through from Kezu. And here's my biggest problem with KP's lineup is tower pushing. How do they get to the high ground? Yes, they have a Necro 3, but that's really it when you think about it.
I mean, it'll get better over time. I mean, E-Blade's technically a decent damage item for Mirana. You know, you spend by something like a Butterfly does 60 damage, 60 agility. This is 40 straight agility. It's not quite the same, but eventually they'll be alright, I think.
Yeah, the agility that you get.
I mean, this is going to be such a good fight.
Oh my lord, that damage coming through. They already get Limp. He's low. He'll have to pop the BKB. Meanwhile, Pylon died 3-3. Get destroyed. 2 down. 6-6 all alone now, and he's getting shredded. The last right click from Limp with a double damage. He's actually destroying everybody. Meanwhile, they're looking for more. Era is hexed up. He was looking for this Lyrian Crush. Bone 7 about to TP out, and he will make it away. And now Kezu's on the hunt looking for Sexy Bambo to get the 4th kill in this fight, but it looks like they will not be able to find him. He's able to make it away towards that bottom tier 2 tower, but finally, Escape turned it around, and they say, screw it, we don't care if we lost a 5-man engagement earlier. We're going to go right to your high ground for your tier 3 tower. There's actually no glyph. Limp barely surviving. He do get off that Lotus Orb, and Kezu now hexed up as well and needs to avoid that Earth Splitter. They both will. They'll both be able to go back to work on seizing that high ground. And that tier 3 tower might fall. The Yules will come out. Bambo will save it for now and then deny it. What a Bambo play to make. Walk up, the Fate's Edict is there, so we can't quite attack the tower just yet. Heals are coming through. Stomp's getting ready to go. Another Hex is there. There's the missiles. There's the laser on top. More Lotus Orbs coming through. And Era's walking in, Shadow Bladed up, no detection coming out. There's the jump, and they found Bone 7. They want more. They blink up the damage. Finally, to get the Ghost Scepter off, though, but is it enough? The Chakram, there's the Yule Scepter. Bone 7 is barely staying alive. And now the Air Spike will come through. Lotus Orb, it goes both ways, and still Kezu going back to work. They'll take down both of the Raxes. Roar's going to come out Lip. False Promise. BKB, they're going to try to turn this. Ethereal Blade Era low. Pops the BKB, but he's at like 10 HP at this point. 6-6 will finally fall. Ghost Ship to come through. They've got the room to help them out now if they want to try to turn this around. And Kezu's got that Timber Chain and Blink ready to go. There's going to be Void Death and Chakra coming in.
Damage.
Look at the damage. He is hexed up, but it doesn't matter. The Torrent is on one. The Yules is on the other. Bambo getting chased down. It's a double for Kezu. The laser's not enough at this point. Bone 7 can try to do all that he can, but at this point he's trying to TP home, and that will be what he accomplishes, as that is an amazing fight for Escape Gaming.
Dude, Synerin has just been MVP carrying these last 3 fights, like especially the one by the Roche pit as well. He keeps doing False Promise at the perfect time. It's allowing the BKB to come out for Draw Ranger, and then because of her item build, she's just doing so much damage with MKB. She's killing anybody.
Yeah, she's killing everybody. She's got plenty of damage right now.
And the Shadow Blade on Slardar was also really useful. It allowed them to initiate on Bone 7. Like, Pylon did save him with an ultra clutch Force Staff, but it still got so close. And Kezu as well. The Aether Lens use, or the Lotus Orb usage in the Roche area fight, and in the upper fight as well. The fact that he Lotus Orb himself in the draw previously, it's giving them a lot of longevity in these fights that allow them to actually kill KP's heroes, or Kaipi's heroes, despite Kaipi in a lot of ways being ahead. This game's getting really intense really fast.
I mean, like, we had that, like, minute 35-ish. Like, if you look at the graph and look how, like, desolate it was during that time, and then look at the past 5 minutes and just seen what's happened, it's been a crazy game.
The down-up. You know what this graph looks like? It looks like the, the computer taking data, which is not paying attention for that time period. It's just, like, missed data points. You ever seen that before in a graph?
Yes.
It's like all the computer just was off those days. So that's what happened. It's back on trend, no worries, guys. 2 big kills here on the top lane as well. And Escape's in a really good spot. Those guys don't have buyback.
Exactly.
They've got to defend this. If they get 2 racks, they're almost screwed here.
If anyone
like,
dies,
Roche against that is impossible.
No one else has buyback other than Bone 7 at this point. The closest person is Pylai Die at 174, so this is a tough defense, although already Era has found a 2-person crush. Bone 7 is going to go down to the Chakrams. He has to buy back. They'll push everyone back into the well, into the base. The tier 3 tower at half health. Now with False Promise done, they might want to back away. Escape, they're happy with what they've accomplished. Kazu doesn't want to lose any more Bloodstone charges, as he just got that Aghanim Scepter as well. Doesn't want to have to lose too much. in terms of his gold, as well as bloodstone charges. They'll back away. They'll reset. They can try to go again, but they might just play patiently and go for the next Roche, which is, by the way, up now.
I think they should. It's going to be a lot harder for Kaipi to actually defend Roche now that there's things like Shadow Blades on the Slardar. Especially with all these buybacks. They do have a gem on Beastmaster, so it's maybe not the easiest thing to deal with. But the most crucial item that Kaipi actually needs is BKB on Sing Sing. Like, you talked about it early, and I was a little unsure. I did still justify for Ethereal Blade, but he needs BKB so bad. He's just been consistently having a low impact. He just gets X'd once, and that's it. Mirana's gonna die. Glimmer Cape's not gonna save him. He's taking pure damage from Timber, for example. Like, he needs BKB.
I absolutely agree, and I also think that really what prompted that was, I think, Slaughter getting the Shadow Blade was one of the most important decisions this game, in my opinion. That's been such a useful choice for them, and finding pickoffs and finding that critical engagement in that mid lane to set up the racks falling was the Shadow Blade.
It was pretty huge. I think Slaughter's actually buying another Lotus Orb. He's got a Perseverance right now. It's a good choice. We'll offset a lot of what Elder Time... Actually, Elder Time will remove all of Slaughter's armor currently. They're going to try to fight into this. This is a bad engagement, though.
They're going to find Pylai Die, Ghost Sceptered up. He still can cast spells, but BKB's all over the place, still not finding anything. All they're going to get is Pylai Die. This time tanking the gank and dealing damage to Cinderate in the process. Stop will come through, hit onto 2, but Kezu's still going to work once Bambo. Moonlight Shadow is there. Meanwhile, everyone coming back in. Sing Sing was nearby, blinked up. They're going to try to fight, or actually leaped up, but now blinks back, and he'll be able to make it out. The Hex is up onto Kezu. He is the tanky frontliner that they have no way of dealing with. They give him the Fate's Edict, and then you absolutely cannot do any damage to him. There's no right clickers here. I don't see... If you give Kezu Fate's Edict, I don't see how you can kill him. He doesn't want to right-click anybody. So,
yeah, and they don't have any right click. All they're gonna do is remove like 8 of his base armor. That's it. Like, their positioning has been so good in every fight. It's always Timbersaw and Slardar in the places where Kaipi is up, very likely to approach from. So just putting them up there is changing everything. Kezu's had an actually amazing game. He's been playing so well. Everyone at Escape has, really.
His stat line doesn't necessarily show it, but yes, I absolutely agree with you. Kezu's having a great game.
He's gonna tank the game.
Yeah, he might. His team's done Roche already, so they can try to turn this around.
And they can sell Exis. It's not over. No, never mind. If they get away, they can.
No Aether Lens for Yapstor, unfortunately. Doesn't have that range. But Era can come in with a Blink Dagger. It's a little too far away, though. Era was looking for that Blink onto Bambo, but it just wasn't quite there. And they'll start the split push now with Limp mid and the rest of the squad down bottom for the time being.
We've got a Butterfly Moonshard now in Draw Ranger. He ate the Moonshard already, so that increases his attack speed by a huge amount, actually. Sold Dragonlance for this, I believe. So his attack range is a little lower, but the important thing is the attack speed is way faster. He gets like 45 attack speed from that. He basically has 100 extra attack speed from the Moonshard and the Butterfly versus the Dragonlance. It's a huge upgrade.
0.38 seconds per attack, so... it's pretty good.
With MKB as well, like that, he's constantly going to be mini bashing the Tinker. That's kind of cool that MKB is actually so good against Tinker, really. It lets you hit through laser, and it lets you mini bash if he's rearming.
The only thing that saves the Tinker is his Ghost Scepter right now, and
yeah.
That's the one thing I would have thought maybe a Diffusal Blade coming out for someone on Escape, but that can come later if they really need it. If that's really becoming a problem, if that Ghost Scepter is really an issue. But not really the best hero to have on, obviously.
Yeah.
Drow Ranger's not a great Diffusal Blade carrier, so...
I think they're going to be way more concerned about just blowing up Tinker, I think, than diffusing him in Ghost Scepter timings. Or chain stunning him is the solution. Really.
I mean, they can do that too, trust me. They have plenty of damage to do so.
Yeah, it's far better than buying like a Diffusal Blade on either Drow or somebody else on their team. He does take the tower with an easy X here. Nice little way to do this.
Yeah, that was easy. The amount of damage he pumps out. Oh, he did sell his Dragonlance, by the way, so he doesn't have
Yeah, I mentioned that. When he bought when he bought the Butterfly, he sold the Dragonlance.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't have that range advantage of being able to sit a little further back and just push high ground siege it, slowly but surely. So he has to pick and choose when he goes up to the high ground a bit more carefully.
Yeah, the lineup on Kaipi just looks so good here, but... oh, wait, they're going in.
There's going to be the Yules on Bambo, as Kezu is hexed up. More ways than one, yeah. Well, that missile didn't really do much for Bone 7. However, the laser just blows up the creep wave. They still get the range racks. The Earth Splitter might only hit the Aptor. No, he blinks away too. Everyone blinking out of that Earth Splitter, so they'll all make it away. The range racks accomplished.
Blink. When did you get this blink? What the heck?
He's had it for a while.
Okay, I'm just bad.
X marks. They're going to go in again. And look, the stomp misses, and he's doing some serious work. The Yules, Lotus Storm, so they're going to find the Slithering Crush, and Bambo is gone. Not only that, but 3-3 instead. Well, and Sing Sing about to go down. The sheer right click, he might actually survive here. He will get away with barely any HP. Meanwhile, Kezu's going back in the base. They won't find anybody else. The detection is there, but they quite can't get it. Now they will on Pylon Die. Slithering Crush up with the Tauren on top. Stacking stuns, they don't give a damn. Meanwhile, look at where Sing Sing is. They have vision. Oh, is he going to die to the creeps? Oh, the Siege Creep. He's 19 HP.
My God, he's
my God, the Siege Creep. Yes, he did it. The Siege Creep, he did it. Back at the base, you can see Bone 7 has Ghost Sceptered up an Era. Oh, he actually gets hexed before getting the Slitherian off, but Bone 7 is still in trouble. The MKB procs, and he is done for 103 seconds. Game number 1, and what a game it was. Will go the way of Escape Purge.
Wow, Kaipi's draft looked so strong. Honestly, it really did. The biggest issue was that there was a Kunkka on the enemy team, and it just made Sing Sing so worthless. A couple of those early fights, small mistakes from Sing Sing led to this period of time where he just got his BKB delayed so much. And looking at the game now, I would definitely say just buy BKB right after Ags, because what he needed to do after the Blink, after Blink and Ags, immediately get BKB, then you can start taking team fights and get a lot of Star Storms out of the fight. But if you only get like 2 cycles of that, like 2 Star Storms total, you're not getting any value out of your hero. Instead, they could have put him on a physical carry. They would have had the ability to take Roche really easily, and the game would have been simple. But because that they missed that timing window from Mirana, she just never got moving with items, and they didn't have enough damage on the rest of their team to deal with heroes like Timbersaw. So the Timbersaw pick was really solid against that draft that Kaipi did, as was the Kunkka pick. But I mean, Kaipi played amazing. They defended Roche for so long. It looked like they really had a firm control of the game. But those issues with the Mirana itemization just made the game so hard. Really fun game though.
Yeah, I gotta say, it was a good back and forth game. Bone 7 had a couple of great fights, but really just some solid team play coming out from Escape, and Limp fit in that lineup perfectly without Koikla being there. Not to say, you know, I'm sure Koikla is sorely missed, but we'll see how these next couple of games go, because again, this is a best-of-5 series, so it's not even like Escape wins this next game, the series is over. A 2-0 advantage would surely be nice, but we'll see if Escape can get it back to 1-1 apiece, and we're forced to Game 4. We'll see how things turn out here on WCA, the European Qualifier, Season number 2. So make sure you guys stick around, and we'll be back shortly for our next game.
Think you know esports? Then prove it. Win real money on all your favorite esports games. Just pick your event. We have loads to choose from. And place your bet. Win real money at Betway.